Now this is something else. What the actual hell? The founder of Oculus created a VR headset that will kill the player for real if you die in the game. Bro. Now, before we even start the article, can I just point something out? That clearly psychopaths are being respected. And the reason is simple. This guy hasn't been arrested. I know he hasn't killed anybody yet, but if you create a device that is a murder weapon, you literally created a weapon. And don't arrest the guy, you know, he's clearly a fucking psycho. Whatever. It's an old trope in a lot of dumb sci-fi movies that involve virtual reality. You die in the game, you die in real life. In said movies, characters get trapped in a digital simulation or a video game and must play for their lives. If their avatar perishes, so do they. This guy is Jigsaw. Well, it appears that someone has actually willed this trope into reality. That is, someone created a VR headset that will literally kill you if you lose in the game. The creator is not just any old someone, but Palmer Luckey, the 30-year-old virtual reality wonderkind, defense contractor, Trump founder, and co-founder of Oculus, the VR firm Facebook bought in 2014. Luckey dropped a blog post on Sunday explaining his weird new headset, which he claims is mostly a piece of office art, for now, and included a picture of it as well. Are these like bombs? What the fuck? Yes, this thing will literally end your life. More specifically, it is rigged with a bomb so that your head will explode. Who else is getting vibes of Saw with that head thing that Amanda had on where it like breaks the jaw and kills her? Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Here's what he put in his blog. I use 3 of the explosive charges modules I usually use for a different project, trying them to a narrow band prosensor, that can detect when the screen flashes red at a specific frequency, making game over integration on the part of the developer very easy. When an appropriate game over screen is displayed, the charges fire, instantly destroying the brain of the user. In other words, Lucky has basically brought to life the plot of Sword Art Online. Now, I have never watched this anime or read the mangas, but I did find one thing that somebody sent me. So, this article was written on Monday, which I believe the day was November 7th, right? And somebody posted this on Twitter. Today is the day when Sword Art Online canonly took place. This November 7th. So he created something that literally, I don't know if he took it from there, but the same thing happens in this anime. And the day that it happened in the anime was November 6th. And he did this on November 6th. What? Hang on a second. Does it also match the year? It does. It matches the year, too. The nerdy anime webcomic from the mid-2000s in which characters do a thing called nerve gear that perfectly recreates reality using a direct neural interface that is also capable of killing the user. In the comic, a cadre of characters are dropped into a Matrix-like world by a mad scientist, this guy, and are forced to endure a death game where the stakes of the gameplay are pegged to their own mortality. Lucky says this was the major inspiration behind his project. Okay, so he did copy the fucking anime. To him, a game that can actually kill you is a very exciting idea. Is it? Here's a question for you, Mr. Lucky, especially with your last name. Why don't you try it? Take it for a test drive and let the world know how it works out for you. Try it, please, you fucking maniac. The idea of tying your real life to your virtual avatar has always fascinated me. You instantly raise the stakes to the maximum level, no shit, and force people to fundamentally rethink how they interact with the virtual world and the players inside of it. Except in case you didn't know, the entire purpose of a video game is to enter a fantasy world that's not real. That's literally the whole reason that video games were invented, my boy. Pumped-up graphics might make a game look more real, but only the threat of serious consequences can make a game feel real to you and every other person in the game. Okay, let me ask you a question. Why make this? No, I'm truly asking, why did you make this? Because everything that you did with this is actually in real life. You could literally just tell a person, instead of playing the game, why don't you just go join the military? Go to Afghanistan and fight. go go to fucking Ukraine. In real life. Go to Ukraine. Go to Ukraine. It's the same shit here. If you want to do something that actually risks your life and looks ultra realistic, don't even play it. Just go in real life. Go to a, I don't know, go to an area of some kind of a city that's heavily populated with crime. I don't know, go to Harlem and start yelling the N-word everywhere. There you go. It's the same thing as playing this. What the fuck's the difference? Like, okay, yeah, you can be arrested if you do it in real life. But hey, the risk of death is still there. Right. Well, that's certainly an interesting concept, though some might argue that the pleasure of gaming actually derives from being able to simulate death-defying, as I just said, and not have your head exploded. Some people might argue that. Anyway, whether it is a good idea or not, Lucky seems to have plans to make his new hat even more horrifying than it currently is. Of course he is. This isn't a perfect system, of course. I have plans for an anti-tamper mechanism that, like the Nerve Gear, will make it impossible to remove or destroy the headset.
You are a mental case.
I don't think his inspiration was just that anime. He must be inspired by Jigsaw, Squid Games, all kinds of fucked up shit. Right. So just to be clear, the ultimate goal here is to create a murder helmet that you literally can't take off once it's been clamped to your noggin. The only two scenarios in which you'll be able to remove it are A, the one where you win the game, or B, the one where your decapitated corpse is dragged out of a pile of gore-strewn rubble by whatever unfortunate soul happens to stumble by. This is probably why Lucky hasn't actually used the thing himself yet. He says, there are a huge variety of failures that could occur. Really? And kill the user at the wrong time. Because there's a right time. This is why I have not worked up the balls to actually use it myself. You prick. So you created something for other people to use, but you don't have the balls to use it yourself? That's not telling at all.
Fucking degenerate.
And also why I'm convinced that, like in SAO, the final triggering should really be tied to a high-intelligence agent that can readily determine if conditions for terminations are actually correct. What conditions? Isn't this just as simple as your character dies, so do you? I don't really understand what else you want into this thing. Some will doubtlessly find this an exciting idea, while others, actually let's be honest, most people, will probably be dissuaded from participation after reading the phrase, kill the user at the wrong time. To be fair, though, if the right time is when your character dies, isn't that also technically the wrong time too? Because who the fuck wants to die when they play a game? I, unfortunately, fall in the latter camp. Through a grim cocktail of curiosity and schadenfreude, are definitely going to keep me monitoring this project's progress for the foreseeable future. Now, I will say this could have one benefit, and I say that very loosely, but let's say somebody actually wants to die. And we know that assisted suicide is a real thing. We've all heard of it. It's a real concept. I'm not making this up. Assisted suicide is a real thing. So this could be used as assisted suicide, I guess, where the person gets to play a game one more time before they die, and then they die. But of course, this has to follow the guidelines of assisted suicide, and if you're using it in that context, I think that is the only context where this makes sense. Anyway, what do you think of this psycho? The fact that he's not in jail is not surprising, let's be fair.